Philadelphia Eagles linebacker Zach Cunningham has been one of the nice surprises on the 2023 NFL season. And he's a little different from the other guys that we have on the roster. He fits the mold of what we would call the prototypical linebacker. Over 6'2", he's about 6'3". He's between 235 and 240 pounds in terms of the weight. And the guy's got adequate arm reach, over 34 inches in the arm reach and over an 80-inch wingspan, which for this Philadelphia Eagles linebacking core, that's a little different. That's a little unique. And if you guys go back and you remember when we first signed him and I saw him play a little bit inside of practice, the clips that were coming back, I said, I know the knock on this guy is that he's not a great coverage linebacker, and that probably would hold true if you lined him up in man coverage and got a kind of shifty, elusive running back or really good route running tight end on him. However, in zone coverages, I thought that wingspan, it was quite problematic for the quarterbacks that I was watching go up against them. I thought this guy was playing with a lot of range, a lot of length to his game, and was really disrupting throwing lanes. It's nice to see that this guy has become more inside of this defense than just a solid run defender. He's actually developing into probably one of our best defenders inside of the zone systems, dropping back to that mark because of his experience. All right, y'all. Let's go in depth and let's take a look at what he did last week versus Dallas. Let's get it. What's up, Cerebral Football fans? My name is Steven Hyder. This is Gate City Sports Channel. So the first play I want to bring up here, it really comes out of the third down from the initial opening drive of the Dallas Cowboys. What you're going to see here is a guy who really understands where to be in terms of the zone, where to drop to, how to take things away. I thought that this guy's instincts are really showing up on the season. He's had those really cool plays that we've all seen to where he kind of disrupts, uses that length to get in there and knock the ball away. And all that stuff is really fun to see, and it's positive. It's positive to see a guy play to his actual traits. But with that said, I love when I see a dude who just gets it. This is a feel for the game. This is coming from experience. This comes when you've been in the league for a while and you just understand exactly where to be in your drops. Yes, I thought Dak made a couple of really, really good off-script runs that kind of, held the defense out there a little longer, opened things up for his receivers. I think he did a good job extending plays, going off schedule in this football game. But some of the reasons he had to was because of plays like this, where you just see the linebacker exactly where he's supposed to be at the time that he's supposed to be there. That's important. It's the timing of things. I also love the fact that you can see him play physical at times, where he's going to knock a guy off his mark. That's important. You take a guy, you disrupt the route pattern. You use that length, you use that size. Yeah, you might not be able to stick that dude in man, but in zone coverage, you can absolutely disrupt the timing of the play and make it really difficult for that quarterback to get to those quick checkdowns. That's what I love about this guy. This is a very veteran move to get your hands on a dude and disrupt what the guy is trying to do here. Disrupt the route pattern. On top of that, some of the other things that I've noticed about this young man on the season, he's a good run defender, but I don't think that really does it justice in terms of what he actually is when you study the tape. I don't really care about these PFF gradings, guys. I get they're impartial, and I understand why people like to use them, but I don't always think it tells the story. There's a play in this game to where you could see him close the distance and beat the second level lineman from getting up there, right? The linemen were trying to climb to that second level. He identifies immediately what's happening. He beats them to the point of attack, and he gets to Tony Pollard and just has a nice little shove. Uses that frame, that length, to just shove him out of bounds and keep it to a fairly minimum gain. Now, look, I would still constitute this as a win for the offense. This could have been a really big win for the offense, right? This could have gone for a lot more than 3 or 4 yards. This could have easily been a 7+ yard run if he does not make it to that second, if he doesn't beat the offensive lineman to that second level, right? The linemen are trying to get to the second level. He's trying to get outside of their framework to get to the player, to get to the running back. I thought that when you really study the film of this guy, he stands out to me. This is a guy that the more you watch him, the more you see him play to his traits, it gets harder to kind of ignore him inside the system. This is a really good football player. This is a guy who has a very good feel for things. And I think that's very important when it comes to playing backers inside of very heavy zone systems. And I know that we're kind of in the middle of the pack when it comes to man coverage, but the majority of the NFL is zone now. So if you can fall back into a zone and have that really good feel, that really good recognition, and then use your physical attributes, that reach, to disrupt throwing windows, it's a plus for me. I really like what this young man has done on the season. I think this has definitely been one of the better players on this defense. I think he's highly underrated. And man, I love the fact that he just kind of flies under the radar. Then each week we see, the teams that come into play us, and they're like, man, I don't know who 52 is, but that's a good football player. Yeah, he is a good football player. All right, y'all, if you like this type of content, you'd like to see more like it, I got some stuff here where I broke down more of. You guys want to see what I said about Nicholas Morrow when we first signed him. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all's time and attention. I'll see you guys on the next video.